When God created human beings as embodied beings, He created us as male and female. As we read in Genesis 1:26 and 27, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. That's verse 26. Verse 27, and so God created man in His image. In the image of God, He created him. Male and female, He created them. And so God, in creating us as embodied beings, created us as gendered beings. There's no such thing as an agendered human being, that is, a genderless human being. We're either a male human being or a female human being, and that is by God's design. That also enables us to carry out His command in Genesis 28 to be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it and exercise dominion. So in order for procreation to take place, in order for human beings to be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth, we need to be male and female. And also the coming together of male and female in vocation helps us to build society according to God's design. And so we're created with a fundamental genderness, which means I, as a man, know myself as a man. I relate to other human beings as a man, and I relate to God from a man's perspective. My wife knows herself as a female, as a woman. She relates to other human beings from her female perspective. She relates to God from a female perspective. We are gendered in a fundamental way. And that should cause us as Christians to thank God for our gender and be excited that we are men and women. And there's this complementarianism to us by God's design. We should be excited, thrilled, thankful for the fact that God created us as men and women. In terms of our human sexuality, then, one aspect of our genderness is we're sexual beings. And from a broad biblical perspective, the vast majority of human beings, according to God's design, will be married. A man with a woman. So God's design is for a heterosexual marriage in which sexual intercourse will be expressed in a covenant bond. It'll be a monogamous relationship, which is pure, which is good, which is holy and right in God's sight. This is God's design. Tragically, because of our fall into sin, the expression of our sexuality is often very sinful, is often very fallen. And so, particularly in the New Testament, Paul gives us instructions about how to express our sexuality. So we are to avoid sexual immorality. We are to cherish our spouses and to give ourselves to one another. We are to avoid all kinds of sexual impurity. And so part of God's design for us as Christians is overcoming the fallenness, the sinfulness of our sexuality and expressing that in God-honoring and spouse-honoring ways.